wonder why they didn't talk about this much. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Put in discount code United We Stand. Get 20% off the entire store, only for my YouTube people. I love you, but you already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I came across this post from the Unwoke Narrative. I never followed them before, but I came across this post, and this question really struck me, and I thought about it. Do you guys remember the D.C. shooting situation? And I would argue that most of you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. The thing that most recently happened where there was a person indiscriminately shooting into crowds of people, injuring a lot of people in his rampage. But why haven't we heard much about it? I'll pass it on to the next slide. And this is the young kid, because he's Asian. That's why we haven't heard about it. He ain't white. That's why we haven't heard about it. And this guy had all of these guns. And in the strictest place on planet Earth to own a gun in D.C. He has guns. Why, Mr. Tatum? Because criminals don't follow the law. All of these restrictions and stuff are coming for citizens who are willing to obey. Somebody that's willing to do this can get every gun they want and get in there and do whatever they want to do. That's why these gun laws are stupid, in my opinion. But why haven't you heard the outrage, the meetings at the Capitol Hill, and all of these things around these terrorists? Because last thing I checked, this is 2 terrorist attacks that have happened, and these people haven't been white, and so they don't want to talk about it. The black man that shot those people in the subway system in New York City, the strictest place to own a gun, he somehow made his way there shooting multiple people, and if his gun didn't jam, he probably would have killed a whole bunch of people. Then you go to this guy. He's literally on a 5th story floor, or whatever story he was on, blasting indiscriminately out the door with all these guns. Why is that not something that you should be concerned about? But the next slide is what got me. Is that there's a picture hanging on a wall that appeared to be this guy, this mythical scientist. I don't know if it's real or it's mythical. A lot of things from the Nation of Islam I question. But this guy was supposedly a scientist that created white people. He created white people. Like, so Nation of Islam believed that there was no white people on planet Earth, and that this scientist, who was a Nation of Islam guy, a long time ago, they thought like 6,000 years ago, that this guy somehow bred people and created white people, which I would argue Nation of Islam is a racist organization, anti-white racist organization, a black nationalist organization. And this guy, with the influence and encouragement of this mythical person, decided to shoot indiscriminately and kill all these people, or not kill all these people. I think he just hurt a whole bunch of people. So why are we not saying that this is a terrorist attack? Or why are we not saying that the minorities or people in the minority are acting in terrorist ways more so lately, as of late, than white people have? Because it's an agenda. I kept going, and I said, this is very interesting, that most of the news stations didn't even mention his race. And I know you guys know that this happened more often than not, is that when it's a white person, when it's a white cop does this. White man does this to black man. White man goes into school. White kid goes into school and does this. But when it's black, Asian, Hispanic, man goes into school and does this. They don't say Asian man did this at a 5th story building. And I bet you right now I could search, and they didn't say a black man shot up the subway. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? They're not going to put his race in there. I'm going to put it all on the line. Subway shooter. Brooklyn subway shooter suspect social service group. Okay. Dot lunch probe camera failed in Brooklyn subway shooting. Subway shooting bears responsibility for the crime. Where's it at? Let's see if his race pops up. I don't see nothing about the subway shooter race. 29 hurt in Brooklyn subway shooter. They put his name in there. I don't see nothing about his race. Nothing about his race. Do y'all see it? I see nothing. Conveniently enough, they leave out the race. They leave out the race because they're pushing an agenda. That's what they're doing. So I just thought this was a PSA to be aware of the things that are going on. And hopefully you guys can catch the drift on what I'm saying. Why? The question is why are they so biased in reporting on major incidents? Love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.